Guys, I've been saying for a long time now that I'm convinced giants used to roam the earth. This picture was taken around 1901. Of course, people are going to come back and say it's been photoshopped and all this stuff, but guys, they have found giant skeletons, they've found giant skulls. It's all been brushed under the carpet and denied, just like everything else, because they need us to keep believing in their version of history and this whole idea of evolution. It's all horse crap, guys, as usual. And don't even get me started on giant trees and our petrified past. Guys, there used to be giants in all aspects of life and nature on this planet, and we have been lied to the back teeth.
I mean, we know this for a fact that giants existed. I'm not denying that they existed, but this image, this is not photoshopped. It is an AI generated image, because I've seen it so many times.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in?
Stanley Kubrick was taken out by an elitist sex cult because he revealed some of their ritualistic practices in his final film, Eyes Wide Shut, right before he died. Stanley Kubrick was probably the most famous and most respected filmmaker for 50 years. But, by all accounts, he was very socially awkward. So to think that he wasn't rubbing shoulders with some pretty powerful people, not out of the realm of possibility. It's also not far-fetched to think that he was seeing some pretty shady stuff at those parties. I think he felt pretty guilty about what he saw, and he put it in his last film. And word got out that some of those practices were shown, and and I think those same elitists have perpetuated the more popular conspiracy theory that he faked the moon landing as a distraction away from this.
And the interesting fact is that he died like 666 days later or something like that, I'm not sure. But there was a fixed date to it, so it was kind of like a ritual thing, ritual sacrifice.
High government officials disclosing extraterrestrials. Paul Hellyer.
Paul Hellyer, former Minister of Defense of Canada, and he believes that life forms from space exist and are present on Earth. Why do you say that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying over our heads?
Well, because I know that they are. And they've been, as a matter of fact, they've been visiting our planet for thousands of years. And one of the cases that would interest you most, if you give me 2 or 3 minutes to answer, is during the Cold War, 1961, there were about 50 UFOs in formation flying south from Russia to across Europe. And the Supreme Allied Commander was very concerned and about ready to press the panic button when they turned around and went back over the North Pole. So they decided to do an investigation, and they investigated for 3 years, and they decided that with absolute certainty that 4 different species, at least, had been visiting this planet for thousands of years. So that's we have a long history of UFOs, and of course there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades since we invented the atomic bomb, and they're very concerned about that and the fact that we might use it again. And because the whole cosmos is a unity, and it affects not just us but other people in the cosmos, they're very much afraid that we might be stupid enough to start using atomic weapons again, and this would be very bad for us and for them as well.
Okay, so aliens were involved in World War II, but the real question is, on whose side they were on?
Yo, what y'all think about the new alien thing?
What? They confirmed there's aliens.
Oh yeah, they confirmed.
Nobody gives a shit though, that's
I know,
wrong.
which is crazy. It's crazy because like the minute the government says they're real, and no one believes them, and, like the entire time before they're denying it, they're like, no, aliens are real. Now when a US like Secretary of Defense says it, no one believes it. When it's like confirmed true, when it's confirmed true, it's like, nah, that's not true.
Because I think the problem with that is like, what are we gonna do and what?
Yeah.
yeah, oh shit, okay, it's real. No, in fact, you want me to do?
It's not gonna affect you until it's like in your face.
Yeah.
Say aliens come down right now. Do you think they're gonna come on some like, we're raiding you, like get out, or it's like we come in peace? There's only 2 very realistic things that would happen if aliens were like more intelligent than us.
What?
You think? One, they're too smart to even care, right? Like,
I think they care though.
No, but think about this. When we see like bugs, do we ever think to talk to them or like
No, that's a good point.
It's like, it's just a bug. Like I don't care. Like you go do whatever you want.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Get away from me.
Real shit.
Right? Or there's another theory. If aliens were ever to invade, they'd only invade for water.
Because it's life.
Because it's life.
I mean, Bruce got a point. Even if they come, what do we have to do? How does it affect us?
Apparently trees, forests, and mountains don't actually exist, and we've all just been brainwashed by our government. And I've got proof. Part 2. Click the plus sign for part 1 to get the history. The first video, I went over the history and why people think this, and now I want to show you the proof. Let's go over our first piece of evidence. This is Devil's Tower in Wyoming. And apparently this is supposed to be a mountain, even though it's really flat and the edges are pretty smooth. Another photo of it suggests it looks like a tree trunk. And then here are comparisons of other mountains and how it looks looks like shards of a tree trunk. Apparently, these mountains are just really large pieces of petrified stumps. I think it's an interesting theory. What do you guys think?
I think it's all BS.
Have you seen the Claire Miller TikToks? Nah. Really? Nah, never. Okay, so Claire Miller was like this really like innocent, good girl that went to like public school, did everything right. Yeah. Right? And then she would like post lip syncing and just a random dancing TikTok on her page. And one day it all switched. Like she became like a goth. And like she started posting evil like TikTok.
Became like emo and
Yeah,
stuff
like
that.
emo TikToks, right? And everybody was saying that it was because she was getting bullied in school, right? So back, she has a sister, and her sister is disabled. And when she goes to bed, she starts seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Because when she was bullied, she would cope it with horror movies. So she would go and do that rabbit hole of rituals and stuff. So she would start seeing these things, and the ghosts are telling her, oh yeah, you should unalive yourself. You're not worthy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like she got so into it that she went into the kitchen, fam. She grabbed a knife. She started stabbing the ghost, she said.
What the?
So she kept stabbing it. 1 stab, 2 stab.
Yeah.
Fam, she shook out of it. It was her disabled sister.
Damn.
If we were really on a ball, why can we not find the curvature anywhere?
Well, Jersey Shore, that's because the ball's really fucking big. You can't see the curvature of the Earth because you're not above it, you're on it. But if you want to split hairs, this horizon point, which you have in your picture, is probably about 3.5 miles away. On a clear day, a 6-foot-tall person would be able to see for about 3 miles before the Earth is obscured because it's a ball.
If a boat is really going over the Earth's curve, which is supposed to be a physical obstruction of view, why can you zoom in with a camera and still see the boat completely flat and level?
Yeah, the reason you can see it is because you picked a picture where the boat is not over the horizon line yet. Here, how about this one? Or maybe this one? Oh my god, here's a third. Your point makes no fucking sense. If the Earth really was flat and you didn't have to worry about not being able to see over the horizon line, they wouldn't have made lighthouses this big. They would have just lit a candle on the ground and called it a day.
Why do you believe that water can stick to a spinning ball 360 being held in without a container, using an idea to explain it, gravity that's never been detected, never been proven, the motion of the Earth has never been detected or proven, and the Earth's curve has never been detected or proven? How do you believe that the sky is 360 under you too, so rain is falling upside down? How do you believe that?
What? I have never in my entire life seen someone put air quotes around gravity. I really thought I was never gonna have to say this, but apparently this is a distinction we have to make for these people. Gravity does actually exist. Oh my god. And rain is not falling upside down. There would be an upside down if the world was flat, but since the world is a ball, we perceive down as whichever side gravity is pulling us towards.
Why was the first time CGI was ever used and started in 58, the same year NASA was created 58, and then the Antarctica Treaty was signed in 59?
That is A, coincidence, and B, the fact that the 1950s was a time of huge scientific growth in the United States. So here's a picture taken from a V-2 rocket in 1948. Earth looks pretty curved to me, but oh my god, how's that possible? They hadn't invented CGI yet.
And lastly, why do you trust these people to tell you the truth when we all can agree that they lie to us?
This is honestly the part of the video that pisses me off the most. Everyone knows that the people in the positions of power right now do not give a shit about us. So why the fuck are you wasting your breath talking about how they're trying to convince us that the Earth is round instead of talking about actual important social change? Wealth disparity, gun violence, police brutality, redlining of black neighborhoods, environmental racism, oil companies buying our politicians. Why the fuck aren't you talking about something that matters? Thank God that video is over.
And there it is, all of the conspiracies debunked right in your face.
We know you guys don't really have to work for money and do the things that you're doing, right? This is all just BS brainwashing from your governments to keep you all as slave labor and fighting one another. All right, genius, what do you propose we do? We don't have these awful jobs, we don't have economy, and we don't work. How do we attain things we need? Simple. We have technology that manifests almost anything you want or need. Manifests anything. Think of it as like a really advanced form of your 3D printing. Your 3D printing is the first baby step into this technology. We can just do it on a 4D, 5D, 6D level. Oh yeah? But what about food? We can do it with food, we can do it with homes, we can do it with clothing, we can do it with art, we can do it with anything. That's why we don't actually have to buy things from one another. As long as we all understand how that technology works and how to create it, everyone gets limitless of everything they need and want. Therefore, all jobs are all about giving back to the society and big projects. What kind of big projects? Because your technology is silly and limited.
I mean, I need that technology so badly, especially for a lazy person like me. No work, nothing, just relax.